Squeeze, 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 then let go all the way.
If it gets a little too dry, you can take your sponge and just dab it on there a little bit. To work out your hand as much as you can.
Power is derived from many sources. It comes from family, it comes from spirituality. It comes from meeting challenges so great, one would not expect anyone to overcome them. And yet there is no power like the power to overcome those challenges. Across the landscape of Central Virginia, the power to overcome the great challenges of devastating disabilities is generated in 10 locations, literally 10 oases of healing, comfort, determination, and power.
You want to sit down like you're sitting in a chair.
The century-long evolution of Sheltering Arms Hospital into one of the finest rehabilitation centers in the country is born of an intense desire to never give up, no matter the challenge, and despite the most devastating of diagnoses. These facilities are populated with the most advanced rehabilitative technology, the most innovative of methods, and highly trained professionals who are passionately committed to helping their patients get better faster. On January 24, 2008, David Thomas, newly married and a man of significant physical strength, found himself unable to talk or walk. A bulging blood vessel in his brain ruptured, causing bleeding throughout the brain. David suffered from a brain aneurysm that was followed by a devastating stroke. He was unable to communicate with his new wife and feared he wouldn't even be able to attend his grown daughter's upcoming wedding.
He had a brain aneurysm, and they did emergency surgery on him. Couldn't move, couldn't sit up, nothing. He was doing great that day, fine. We went out to dinner, everything was okay, and he just collapsed that night and whisked him out to the emergency room.
Several experts, doctors, and insurance examiners believe David's condition, immobile, inaudible, and essentially unproductive, was permanent. It was even suggested that David's future should be spent in a nursing home. Sheltering Arms' team-oriented approach put David on a fast track to recovery. David's rehabilitation included rigorous physical retraining, consistent speech therapy, and loving encouragement from friends and family.
When a patient comes into the hospital, they are really treated as a whole individual. We don't look at it as treating parts and pieces of a person. We really look at it as trying to treat the entire person. So to do that, it really does require a team approach.
This leading-edge, holistic approach oftentimes means moving from one type of therapy to another in the same building, even in the same room. In just one full day of therapy, David will work with at least 2 to 3 therapists, covering different areas of his rehabilitation. This team model not only assures that issues do not fall through the cracks, but also builds on the gains made from each type of therapy, ensuring that every aspect of the patient's needs are addressed.
The team approach here is essential to me and to what I want to do. I don't want to work by myself in a vacuum. And the whole team works together, and everybody has a mission here which is based in caring and empathy and concern and highest ideals, trying to get people better.
Here we go, circus animals, take 1. Here you go. Tigers.
Less than 10 miles away at the Sheltering Arms Midtown facility on West Broad Street, the sights and sounds of recovery are everywhere. This is called recreational therapy. Rec therapy is at the heart of the Sheltering Arms philosophy of providing patients with a continuum of care, well beyond their initial recovery.
All right, that's better.
Throughout the building, frayed connections between the brain and the hands, between the mind and the mouth, are being tied back together in a prime example of what makes Sheltering Arms rehabilitation centers unique.
We get to work with clay.
This is an organization that has, as part of its core mission, a continuum of care that ensures patients can find a long-term path toward as full a recovery as possible.
Do you want to look in the classifieds diet and find a man? Are you ready?
Yeah.
At the center of many of these activities is a sweet grandmother with a wry sense of humor who has fought gallantly from what could have been a devastating stroke to remain a vibrant and engaging woman. Her name is Dorothy Hughes. She likes to go by Dot. In 2002, Dot's life changed dramatically.
About 2 weeks before I did have mine, I had taken my grandson in my arms and was going to go to the house, and I just fell over backwards. I got him to bed for his nap, and I went to the bathroom, and I came out. It was like somebody drunk.
Dot was suffering from a debilitating stroke. Yet within weeks of her stroke, Dot was at Sheltering Arms, working her way toward recovery. On many days, you'll find Dot and many other patients gently and joyfully developing their hand skills, their cognitive skills, and what no doubt will be lifelong friendships.
It's like building a house. You build a foundation of care, and then you build upon that care and expand it in different areas based upon the needs of the patient.
The results of this continuum of care are clear when you look into the eyes of Dot Hughes. To touch an object, to simply grab it, no matter how light, no matter how small, and transport it from one end of a table to another, can be for many patients a Herculean task. This man was once a powerful and agile linebacker for Virginia Union University. Now barely into his 30s, Jamal Williams must put the same focus and energy he once used to bring down running backs to move a 2-ounce ball just a few feet. At age 28, Jamal was hit by a virus that attacked his heart. The damage from that virus led to frequent bouts of high blood pressure and ultimately a stroke. Blood stopped flowing to his brain, and in a moment, his life had changed.
I was feeling like lightheaded, headaches.
What did you think was going on?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
They called me the middle of the night. They said, well, something is not quite right. And when I got there, he was forgetting things, and we couldn't figure out why. The next night, early morning, they called me and they said, we want you to know that your son has had a serious stroke and that he's paralyzed on one side totally, and we wanted you to be prepared when you got there.
Jamal couldn't walk. He couldn't move his left arm. He could not even speak. But look at him now. Jamal walks, his speech is continuously improving, and he has power in his legs again. This newfound power to overcome his devastating disability is due to several key factors: inner strength, highly skilled therapists, a supportive family, and a dazzling array of technology.
We're working very closely with the company on how we use that equipment. We're trying to make it available to people in the community who need it. We're trying to make them aware of it.
It is the best of innovation, humanity, and state-of-the-art technology, all expertly applied in the most compassionate of settings.
All the way straight, then let go when you mean to.
The roots of Sheltering Arms' generous mission give rise to scene after scene of compassionate and expert care in every region of Central Virginia. This place is loaded with the human touch.
Yeah, this is more than recreational therapy. It's a family. You know, when some member is not here on any given day, we are concerned about what is going on with them, as we would be one of our family members.
They care, they truly care. They give you every effort they have. I haven't worked with anybody that gave up on me, never have. They've stayed right in there with me the whole time. And this is the only reason I'm doing what I am.
I think it's a very nice place to come. You make friends here and you try to encourage them as well as yourself.
For Dave and Suzanne Thomas, the once frightening notion of life in a nursing home is now a faded memory, obscured by a highly competitive game of Uno.
She's just awesome. He wanted to walk his daughter down the aisle when she got married, and he did that, and that was a very proud moment for me, too.
That's awesome. When you drive the bus.
Lying in the hospital on that transformative day in his life, Jamal Williams prayed and made a commitment. He would take his daughter Jayla for a walk at the Caroline, as they had done since she was able to take her own first steps. There was every reason to doubt that was possible.
I cannot say enough about Sheltering Arms. And when people ask me about it and they say, well, you know, what makes it different? I said, well, number one, the people. His therapists were magnificent. They became part of our family. They are our family. I mean, when we see them in the street or he goes back for additional therapy, it's just like going home again. It's peaceful. It's a place where he knows that they're going to do everything in their power to make it better and better for him.
I got in my mind to go in and do it. And they gave me the opportunity to do it too, and pushed me along to do it.